You really can't take a hint, can you? Talia's voice sliced through the silence like a blade, cruel and laced with laughter, as I stood motionless by the kitchen counter, holding the glass of water she had asked for, or more like commanded. She lounged on the couch, legs crossed confidently, wearing Jared's hoodie, his cologne invading the air, his shoes kicked off like he owned the place, his smirk fixed on me like I was a joke that had long worn out its punchline. "Come on, babe," Jared snickered, his hand resting on Talia's thigh without shame. "Isn't he supposed to be your boyfriend or something? Why does he act like your servant?" Talia's lips curled into that signature smirk that used to melt me, but now burned like acid. "He's not a boyfriend," she said flatly, taking the glass from my hand without even looking at me. "He's a bonded. The system makes him love me. It's pathetic, really." They both laughed. I didn't. I couldn't. The TrueSync system had me trapped, not just emotionally, but chemically, biologically. I was tethered to her through a one-way connection that made me love her unconditionally, helplessly, obsessively. I was cursed to adore her no matter what she did, and she knew it. She used it. She enjoyed it. The first time she asked me to sync, she had been crying in my arms, broken over some ex named Marcus who cheated on her. She looked up at me, eyes wide, voice trembling, and said, "I just want someone who will never stop loving me. Promise me. Bond with me." And I said yes, like a fool. "Thank you, Noah," she whispered that day, and I thought I was saving her. Instead, I handed her the chains that would bind me. It started with small things. Dropping friends, quitting basketball, changing how I dressed, all under the guise of love. Then it got worse. She slapped me at Mia's birthday party when I spoke out of turn, then turned to the room and smiled. "Sorry, guys. He forgets sometimes he's only here to love me." They laughed. They always laughed. Jared laughed the loudest. He was everywhere. The childhood friend who showed up when I wasn't home, who touched her too long, who mocked me without fear because I could do nothing. One day I walked in and saw them kissing on the couch. She looked over at me and said, "Don't worry, Noah, you're still my number one. He's just recreation." I wanted to scream, but the system wouldn't let me. Every time I tried to resist, my chest would cave in with unbearable pain. So I watched. I obeyed. I suffered. Until one day, everything changed. A system alert popped up. TrueSync connection terminated. Partner has manually removed the bond. I froze. My heart raced. And then I felt it. Pain. Real pain. Rage. Disgust. And something else I hadn't felt in months. Freedom. She had unlinked me. Maybe she thought I was too broken now. Maybe Jared had convinced her I was boring. Maybe she just didn't care anymore. But whatever the reason, the chain was gone, and the man she crushed was clawing his way back. I hit the gym, got new clothes, reconnected with Sophia. The friend Talia made me ghost. "Is it really over?" Sophia asked, and I nodded. "Good," she smiled. "I missed the real Noah." I wasn't ready for love, but her words sparked something inside me. Talia started texting, then calling, then showing up at my gym, my cafe, even my apartment. "Noah, please, I miss you," she whispered in the rain one night, soaked and shivering. I stared at her and said, "You're not allowed to call me that anymore." Her eyes broke. She tried guilt. "I only broke the bond to see if you'd love me without it. I wanted it to be real." Liar. She only broke the bond when I stopped entertaining her cruelty. And when I didn't crawl back, she lost her mind. She messaged Sophia, spread lies. Jared showed up to my door. "You broke her, man. She cries about you every night," he muttered. I shut the door in his face. That night I posted a photo, me and Sophia smiling. Talia sent a video the next day, crying hysterically. I ruined everything, and now I have nothing. In the background, her failed sync request with Jared blinked red. He declined. "Noah, I'll do anything." But she wouldn't. If she could have done anything, she would have loved me before. But now I could finally say no, and I did. Talia didn't stop after I rejected her. She got worse. Her desperation turned to obsession. Every day there was something new. A new text, a new apology, a new attempt to claw her way back into my life. But I was already too far gone. I had buried that version of myself, the one who flinched when she raised her voice, the one who smiled while bleeding inside, the one who couldn't say no because the system strangled his will. That man was dead. Now all that remained was the shell she left behind, rebuilt, refined, dangerous. But Talia, in her twisted mind, believed she still had power. She believed that the man who once crawled at her feet still lived inside me. She thought she could resuscitate him with fake tears and twisted promises. She was wrong. The day after the photo of me and Sophia went up, Talia came to my workplace. She waited in the lobby for 2 hours, didn't care about security, didn't care about being seen. When I walked past her without stopping, she followed me out. "Noah, please. I'm not asking to be your girlfriend again," she said quickly, trying to sound humble, her eyes red, makeup smeared. "Just let me explain." I didn't look at her. I didn't need to. "You explained everything when you removed the bond," I said quietly. "That was your final word." "I was scared," she hissed. "I thought if you stayed after the bond, then it meant something real, that it wasn't just the system." I stopped, turned to her. "You had every chance to test that without humiliating me, without Jared, without turning me into your slave." "Rochelle, I didn't mean to." "Yes, you did," I cut her off. "You enjoyed it, every second." Her lips trembled. "I'm not that person anymore." "But I am," I said. "I'm the result of what you did." And I walked away. That night, she posted an old video of us on her socials, a throwback, a desperate one. One of those videos where I was holding her hand, smiling like I had the whole world. She captioned it, "What we had was real. I'll always regret what I lost." The comments were brutal. "Didn't she cheat with Jared? Girl, weren't you calling him your servant just last month? You only miss him now that he's happier without you." Talia turned off comments after that, but she didn't stop. She started texting Sophia. "You don't know what he's like. He's pretending to be healed, but he's broken inside. He'll ruin you." Sophia showed me everything. "She's spiraling," she said. "She can't stand that you're happy." I could have ignored it. I should have. But something in me snapped. Talia had taken everything from me, my time, my confidence, my freedom, my dignity, and she still wanted more and more? No, she didn't get to walk away with just regret. She didn't get to rewrite the story in her head, pretending she was the victim. It was time she felt what I felt, so I felt. So I answered her. One message, short, cold. "Let's meet." She replied instantly. "Yes, name the time." I told her Sunday, 7 p.m. Same cafe where we had first met. She showed up dressed in that old red sweater, the one she used to say made her feel like mine. She smiled when she saw me. "Thank you for coming," she said, nervously playing with her sleeves. I didn't smile back. "I need to say things I couldn't before," she began. "I treated you like an object. I used the bond to trap you, to keep you in place, and when I thought you weren't interesting anymore, I discarded you. And now I can't sleep. I can't breathe. I can't even look at Jared without feeling sick." "Because he rejected you?" I asked bluntly. She flinched. "Because I realize he never loved me. You did, even when I didn't deserve it." "No," I said flatly. "I didn't love you. The system did." Talia's eyes welled with tears. "But you stayed even after I broke the bond. I stayed long enough to watch you crumble." She looked stunned. "You planned this?" I leaned forward, voice low, sharp. "You broke me, Talia. You shattered every part of who I was, but I learned something important. Once a man has nothing left to lose, he becomes everything you fear." She opened her mouth, but I wasn't done. "You know what the real revenge is?" I asked. "It's not blocking you. It's not yelling. It's not making you cry. It's becoming untouchable. That's what kills you." Talia wiped her face with shaking hands. "Please, don't hate me." "I don't," I said, and that was true. I didn't hate her anymore. Great, I just didn't care. I stood up to leave. She grabbed my wrist. "Noah, one more chance. I'll do anything." I looked down at her. "No, you already did everything." And I walked out. Over the next few weeks, Talia's life unraveled publicly. Jared started dating someone else. Photos of him and a new girl went viral, a model, someone with more than 1 million followers. Talia tried to act unbothered, posting party pics and fake smiles. But people saw through it. Her friends distanced themselves. Mia blocked her. Even her own cousin, the one who helped her spread lies about me, posted cryptic tweets like, "Karma works fast." Sophia and I kept our distance from the drama. As we sat on my balcony overlooking the city, she turned to me and asked, "Do you ever miss her?" I thought about it. The old her? The girl who used to fall asleep on my shoulder, who used to write little notes and tuck them in my bag, who used to whisper my name like it was sacred? Yes, I missed that version. But she never existed, not really. She was a mask worn by someone who wanted control. "I miss who I thought she was," I said, "but not who she really is." Sophia nodded. I get that. We sat in silence a moment longer. Then she said, she doesn't deserve to have the last word. I looked at her. She doesn't, I agreed. Sophia smiled. Then let's write the ending. A week later, I posted a video. It wasn't angry. It wasn't even directed at Talia. It was a simple, powerful message, a short monologue, my face, my voice, no edits, just truth. Sometimes the people who say they love you are the ones who break you the most. They'll use your loyalty as a leash, your silence as permission, and your kindness as weakness. But one day you'll wake up and realize surviving them was your greatest victory. And walking away, that was your revenge. Tens of thousands of comments. I needed this today. This man just said everything I couldn't put into words. To the ex who broke me, I hope you see this. And somewhere I knew Talia saw it too, because she sent one last message. You became everything I feared you would. Strong, loved, untouchable. I just wish I had treated you right before you became the man I needed. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. That chapter was closed. The messages stopped after that, as if even Talia finally understood that there was nothing left to salvage, no string left to pull, no version of me that still belonged to her. And in the silence that followed, I realized just how far I had come from the boy who once begged her for scraps of affection under the illusion of love enforced by a system I never truly understood. Back then, I thought devotion meant sacrifice, that pain meant passion, that staying through betrayal proved something noble. But now I knew the truth. Love doesn't need chains. And the moment you have to suffer to be worthy of someone, you've already lost yourself. Sophia became my quiet proof of that. Not in loud declarations or fairy tale romance, but in the calm after the storm, in the way she let me breathe without fear, speak without apology, and rebuild without pressure. She never asked me to forget what happened. She just stood by while I healed, never trying to wear the pieces of the man Talia shattered, only helping me forge new ones. We started going on long drives at night, windows down, music low, no destination except peace. And one night, parked under a dim streetlight on the edge of the city, Sophia looked at me and asked, "Do you ever wonder if she really loved you?" And for the first time, I didn't feel a sting at the question, didn't feel the urge to defend her or even curse her name. I just breathed in the cool air and said, "I think she loved the control more than the connection." And Sophia didn't say anything. She just nodded slowly and took my hand, not to fix me, but to remind me I wasn't broken anymore. Meanwhile, Talia faded. Her posts became less frequent, her photos dimmer, the light in her eyes replaced with the ghost of choices she couldn't undo. People stopped talking about her, stopped defending her, stopped believing the narrative she once controlled with lies and mascara-stained selfies. And I heard through mutuals that Jared dumped her cold after using her name for clout, that she tried to apply for a new sync with someone else but was denied due to prior abuse flags. And part of me hoped she would learn something, anything, but the rest of me simply didn't care. I had too much in front of me to look back anymore. I started speaking at local events about emotional manipulation, about forced affection through the TrueSync system, about the invisible hell men face when they're trapped in toxic love stories no one believes because they're not the ones crying in public. And the messages I got after each speech made me realize that my pain wasn't just mine, that what Talia did to me wasn't an isolated tragedy. It was a symptom of something deeper, something ugly and ignored. And by sharing my scars, I was helping others finally confront theirs. Sophia filmed those talks, helped edit them, posted them under a channel called Unbound Voices. It grew fast, way faster than we expected. And soon I was invited to podcasts, interviews, even schools, where young men and women alike asked the same thing. How did you survive it? And I always answered the same, by choosing to never go back, no matter how sweet the apology sounds. On the 1-year anniversary of the bond breaking, I stood on the same bridge where I once thought about jumping, where the pain felt like a weight I could never lift. And this time I smiled, because the view didn't make me feel small anymore. It made me feel infinite, like everything ahead of me was mine again, finally mine. Sophia hugged me from behind and whispered, "I'm proud of you, Noah." And hearing my name like that, spoken without malice, without power games, without manipulation, just love. It reminded me of who I had become. Not a victim, not a survivor, but a man who was once broken and now stood tall enough to never be bent again. Talia texted me one last time after that. No desperate plea, no manipulations, just 6 words. I'm glad you're doing better now. I stared at the message for a long moment, then deleted it without replying, and I knew she'd be watching, waiting for some sign that she still lived in my story, but she didn't. Not anymore. Because this story was mine now. Not hers, not Jared's, not the system's. And I wasn't a background character in someone else's drama. I wasn't a simp, a pawn, a broken-hearted boy waiting for closure. I was Noah, the man who walked through fire, who buried the chains she wrapped around him, who turned pain into purpose, and who finally learned that real love doesn't make you kneel. It stands beside you, quietly, powerfully, endlessly. And that's exactly where Sophia stood, next to me always. Not because she had to, not because some code told her to, but because she chose to.